All right, so today we're jumping into a book that, let's be honest, a lot of us probably read back in school. Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. But is it really just about a kid tricking his friends into whitewashing a fence? Well, there's so much more to it. We're going to dig into the mischief, the very real danger, and the just brilliant insights that make this book an absolute classic. And you know what? We'll let Mark Twain himself do some of the talking.
So, first things first, let's talk about who this book was even for. It's easy to just file it away as a simple kid story, right? But believe me, Mark Twain was playing a much, much bigger game here.
And, well, here's your answer, straight from the man himself. In his preface, Twain basically says, sure, this book is for kids, but it's also for the grown-ups. He wanted it to be like a time machine for adults, you know? Something to zap them right back to what it was like to be a kid, how they felt, what they thought, and all the crazy stuff they used to get up to.
Okay, so let's get to our main guy. Who is Tom Sawyer? What's his deal? What makes him tick? Well, Twain doesn't just give us some long, boring description. No. He introduces us to Tom through the eyes of the one person who has to deal with him every single day, his poor, frazzled Aunt Polly.
And wow, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? He's full of the old scratch, the devil himself, but she just can't bring herself to be hard on him. And that right there is the constant battle for Aunt Polly. On one hand, she's got a duty to raise this boy right, but on the other, that's her sister's kid. He's this charming, mischievous orphan, and she just loves him to pieces. It's a total dilemma.
One of the really clever things Twain does is show us who Tom is by showing us everything he isn't. And he does that with Tom's half-brother, Sid. Sid. He's the model boy. He's quiet, he's obedient, he always does what he's told, and he's a total tattletale. You're meant to dislike him, and you do. So by putting Tom next to this perfect, goody-two-shoes kid, it just makes Tom's wild, adventurous spirit pop even more. You can't help but be on Tom's side.
So, we know he's a rascal, but just how clever is he? Well, let's talk about maybe the most famous scene in the entire book. It's the moment that really shows off Tom's special kind of genius, especially when he's backed into a corner with a horrible punishment.
So, Tom gets busted for skipping school, and his punishment is just awful. He has to spend his entire Saturday, whitewashing this huge fence, 30 yards long, 9 feet high. I mean, you can just feel the misery, right? The day is completely ruined. For any other kid, that would be it. Game over. But this is Tom Sawyer we're talking about. And just when he's at his lowest point, he gets a brilliant, absolutely magnificent idea.
And here's the thing. This isn't just a simple trick. Tom basically discovers a fundamental law of human nature. It's this idea that to make someone want something, all you have to do is make it hard to get. Seriously, think about it. It's the reason we all go crazy for limited edition sneakers or exclusive club memberships. He figures out how to create demand out of thin air, and he has this huge realization. Work is just something you have to do. If it's something you get to do, well, that's a whole different story. Okay, so how does he actually pull this off? It's a masterclass, really. First, he completely changes the narrative. This isn't a chore, it's a rare artistic opportunity. He tells his buddy Ben Rogers that Aunt Polly is super picky about this fence, that it takes a real artist. Then, he pretends he doesn't even want to let anyone else try. By acting reluctant to give up that brush, he makes the privilege of painting a fence seem like the coolest thing in the world. It's just genius.
And did it work? Oh boy, did it work. By the middle of the afternoon, Tom is just sitting back, loaded with all this treasure. And look at this stuff, a kite, a dead rat on a string, I mean, come on, marbles, a one-eyed kitten. This is primo stuff for a boy back then. His friends literally paid him to do his chores. And the best part? The fence isn't just done, it has 3 coats of whitewash on it. He didn't just get out of work, he turned a punishment into a huge win.
But here's the thing about Tom. His cleverness gets him out of work, but it also lands him in some serious trouble. And the book isn't just a bunch of funny stories about tricking people. Not at all. Twain really dives into the whole messy, complicated, chaotic world of being a kid. A world where one minute you're laughing, and the next you're facing something truly terrifying. And sometimes, his grand plans just blow up in his face spectacularly. Like he takes all that stuff he got from the fence painting scam and trades it for Sunday school tickets. He gets enough to win the prize Bible, all because he wants to look good in front of the new girl in town, Becky Thatcher. He's up there getting all this praise, and then the judge asks him the most basic question imaginable. Who were the first 2 disciples? And Tom, with all the confidence in the world, blurts out, David and Goliath. Oh, the cringe.
His whole scheme just collapses in front of everybody.
But then, the story takes a really sharp turn. This is where Twain shows us how the innocent world of being a kid, with all its games and goofy superstitions, can suddenly crash right into the grim, dangerous reality of the adult world. That line between just playing around and actual life-or-death peril, it's way, way thinner than Tom thinks, and he's about to step right over it.
So Tom and his buddy Huck Finn, the kid from the wrong side of the tracks, they sneak out to a graveyard late one night, and they're there for the most childish reason imaginable. They're trying some weird folk remedy to get rid of warts. But instead, they witness a murder. They watch as a man named Injun Joe kills the town's young doctor. And just like that, it's not a game anymore. This secret they're now holding on to, it's terrifying. It completely shatters their world and introduces them to a kind of fear they never even knew existed.
So let's pull back for a second. What is it about this story? A story about a kid in a tiny town on the Mississippi River, written almost 150 years ago. What makes it a classic that people are still reading all over the globe today?
I mean, really, why do we still care about Tom Sawyer? Think about it. He lies, he schemes, he can't stand school, and yet we're on his side. He feels so familiar, so relatable, even now. Why is that? Why do we root for the little rascal?
Well, maybe the best answer comes from Twain again, right back in that preface. He says Tom Sawyer isn't based on just one kid. He's a mix, a combination of 3 different boys that Twain actually knew. And by doing that, by blending them all together, Twain created something more than just a character. He captured something universal, something like the essential spirit of being a boy.
And at the end of the day, that's what this book is all about. It's a celebration of that wild, free time in your life that's run completely by imagination, a time where that line between having fun and being in real danger is just razor thin and honestly kind of exciting. We watch Tom go on this journey, this moral awakening. He starts as a kid whose biggest risk is getting a scolding for the fence trick, and he grows into a young man who has to make a choice, a real choice, about whether to risk his own life to tell the truth. And that transformation, that journey, that's why Tom Sawyer is, and always will be, an absolute American classic.